The Sultanate's total oil and condensate reserves stood at 4,740 million barrels at the end of 2017, down by 376 million barrels in 2016, despite adding 355 million barrels of oil and condensate from exploration activities and re-evaluation of some producing fields. This decline is attributed to the transfer of around 323 million barrels of reserves into recoverable quantities with prices recovery. On the other hand, gas reserves of 4.97 trillion cubic feet were added, and thus the total gas reserves stood at 24.96 trillion cubic feet by the end of 2017, up by around 3.81 trillion cubic feet compared to 2016. The major contributors for this year's additions is attributed to Khazan and Ghazir fields.
The Solar into Schools project was a project we devised in 2015 as our gift to the nation, and we've been running the program ever since. The purpose of the project is twofold, essentially. The first element is to support, to provide a base for solar SMEs in the country, Omani solar SMEs, and the second is around raising awareness amongst school kids about energy transition, the future of energy, entrepreneurship and innovation.
The oil and gas total expenditure amounted to $11.4 billion against 11.3 in 2016, of which around 72% was allocated to capital expenditure in the upstream sector, such as drilling and facilities, and 28% on operating expenses. The total oil sector expenditure was around $7.9 billion against $7.9 billion in the previous year, whereas the total gas sector expenditure was $3.5 billion against $3.4 billion in the previous year. The average daily production for crude oil and condensate was at 972,000 barrels against 1.4 million barrels in 2016, demonstrating the Sultanate compliance with OPEC agreement to cut production in order to boost global oil prices, while the daily gas production, in addition to quantities imported from Dolphin, were about 112 million cubic meters. In 2017, the Ministry of Oil and Gas signed 4 petroleum agreements. The exploration program cost is expected to be around $67 million during the first phase of agreements for the seismic surveys and exploratory wells. In addition, 4 blocks have been opened for tendering in the last quarter of 2017, and the ministry is currently in the process of analyzing the tenders submitted by the local and international companies. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Saleh Mukhalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.